Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Welcome to the Hypergamous Journey. My name is Denise. On this channel, I give dating advice for women who are 55 and older based on my own experience dating, like real-time dating. I am seeking a hypergamous marriage. I'm 61. So I have a lot to share, and I am on the journey with you. I haven't arrived. I'm on the journey with you. I'm just keeping it real. Today I'd like to discuss again this book, The Writings of Florence Scovel Shinn. And I'm just feeling led, it's just resonating with me about you just have to have faith. You have to have faith in what you believe in. You have to have faith that what you want, God placed it on your heart, and it's obtainable, it's achievable, but you have to stay the course and stay focused. So on page 47 in the book, The Game of Life and How to Play It, this book contains this book contains 4 of her books. The Game of Life and How to Play It, Your Word is Your Wand, The Power of the Spoken Word, The Secret Door of Success. I got this book in 1997, right here, October 29th, 1997. So I've had this book a very long time, and I've read it cover to cover many times, as I do most of my spiritual books. On page 47 in The Game of Life and How to Play It, in the chapter Casting the Burden, she says, in order to impress the subconscious mind, active faith is always essential. She says, in order to impress the subconscious mind, active faith is always essential. On page 46, she says, this is me talking, whatever affirmation that you use, she says, the statement should be made over and over and over. That's 3 times she used over and over and over. Sometimes for hours at a time, silently or audibly, with quietness but determination. Now, I have looked into quite a few religions. I was born into Christianity, Baptist, Pentecostal, non-denominational. I studied in college Hinduism. I was studying Buddhism. I think that's about it. Even Islam, Nation of Islam. And I found a couple of things with them. There's a higher power, God, Allah, Buddha, and I think with Hinduism, I can't remember, I studied in college so long ago, like there are a couple of gods, different gods, but they have a higher power. There's some rules that you follow and how to treat other people. They all have that in common. The only one I really have not really delved into and researched or reviewed in any kind of meaningful way is Judaism. But the others I have. So, but when I was growing up, when I was in the church, they didn't say that simple sentence. The statement should be made over and over and over, sometimes for hours at a time, silently or audibly, with quietness, but determination. I just thought if you wanted to change something about yourself, you just wanted it and the desire would come, you would speak it into existence and boom, magically, it would happen. And I was young. I was like a teenager in my early 20s. And I'm like, but why am I doing the same things over and over again? And I want to do it this way. And it was all about being a better person. So it wasn't like I just wanted to have it my way, but you know, to be, let's say I wanted to be patient. I wanted to be kinder. I wanted to be more cooperative. I didn't want to be angry and bitter. Like I did a video on that, like in my 20s. And as a teenager, I was angry and bitter, and I walked around mad, and people thought I was mad, and they were telling me I looked mad, and I would get upset with them. But that was the universe's way of saying to me, you're angry and you're bitter, and it's showing all over your face. And if you keep that up, you're gonna have a scowl on your face if you just keep it up. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so, but I knew at an early age that I needed to do something different. And I didn't really, and I wanted to change, like to be these better things that it says in those religions that people should be for themselves and toward others. But she says it in, a couple of words in a book. And she said, whatever statement that you're using to change your mindset, to be on the positive side of things, she says you have to say it over and over and over, sometimes for hours at a time, silently or audibly, with quietness but determination. Basically what she's saying is that if you want an affirmation to change a negative thought, you gotta work at it. It just doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen because you want it to happen. You have to work at it. So the point I'm making is this. When I decided that I was going to reconnect in a romantic way with an ex, because we've been friends for 8 years after the end of the relationship. We've been friends for 8 years, but when I decided I was going to reconnect with him, I unilaterally, by myself, made that decision. And just see if he comes along, or if he doesn't respond, then leave it alone. When I decided I was going to do that, fear came up in my body, in my second chakra, in my stomach. I was like, what is that about? And so what I realized was that I was having negative thoughts, fear thoughts. I was having fear that, it might not work. Those are the negative thoughts. It might not work. He would reject me. He would not take me seriously. All of those things. And I had to get a hold of myself. And it's like, wait a minute. You're putting all your power in him. You're giving him all the power, first of all, and he doesn't even know it, but all in my head, this is going on, like we women tend to do. All this is in my head, and I'm thinking, why are you giving him the power? Why don't you say something like, I get to choose, and I get to choose him. So I have chosen him as a target for my hypergamous journey. I've chosen him. And he may know on some kind of vibrational level that I've chosen him. But I've chosen him, and I get to decide whether he's a good fit for me. He doesn't have to do the choosing. I can do the choosing, because I've already decided that I'm going to choose him again, because I'm a different person 8 years later. And when I took that position of power and strength, then I didn't have fear anymore. That feeling of the butterflies, anxiety pains in my stomach went away. But I had to say to myself aloud, I wrote it in my journal, I said it quietly. It's like, you get to choose him. You get to choose him. And he can decide whether he wants to choose you back. And if he doesn't choose you, it's not rejection. God is saving you. And it just confirms what you already did. You walked away 8 years ago because it wasn't working. It was an amicable agreement. We're not angry with each other. It was amicable. So it will just confirm what I did 8 years ago. It will just confirm it. But if he's ready to settle down, he's ready to get married, and he decides that he's going to choose me too because I've chosen him, then we're going to do that. But if he's not the right person, he gets to choose not to, and I get to choose to move on. But he's in the rotation with the other men. He's in the rotation with them. So when you want to change something about yourself or some thoughts, you know, this whole hypergamous journey, depending on where you are, you got to take your affirmation, your positive statements, and say them over and over and over. You have to do it sometimes for hours at a time, silently or audibly, or both, silently and audibly, with quietness, but determination. Determination. It works, people, if you work it. It works if you work it. I have changed so much that now I'm actually thinking, I love you, Niecy. I love you. It just pops into my mind out of nowhere. I love you. I love you. That's what I say to myself. And it's not an affirmation that I'm deliberately saying. It just comes out of nowhere. I love you. So that's me saying I love you, and also God saying he loves me. Can you, I mean, it's like such a joy. It's such a joy. For, you know, most of my life, I didn't think anybody loved me, really. You know, maybe one or two people, but, you know, but that's my past. It's like, this is the now, and I'm happy. 99.9% of the time. So I'm going to close with this. My mother used to say, if you take, to me, she said, if you take one step, God will take two. So I say to you, if you take one step in the direction of your dreams, and since you're watching this channel, YouTube channel, it's the direction of hypergamy. So if you take one step in the direction of hypergamy, God will take two and bring you that much closer to your goal. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.